Hey, this is Patty Eisenmann. It is November the 3rd, 2025, and this is my video diary I'm doing from grief to victory. So I've had a very busy day. I never did get my video posted yesterday because I thought later in the afternoon I would do it, but I went and had a massage yesterday afternoon at 2 o'clock, and I thought I'm just going to go back to my room and rest a minute before I have to go to dinner. And so I just put the TV on for a minute and was just watching something, and before you know, I woke up at 10 p.m. and was like, oh my gosh, I've missed dinner. I've missed the whole night. Thank God for room service. So this morning I got up and was doing my devotion and my prayer time. So if you watch my video number 2, my hair's bothering me. I'm sorry. It's unwashed and frizzy, and I had to take my contacts out for a minute because I'm going to take a shower here. So anyway, I'm babbling. The scripture that God gave me was Proverbs 19:21, and it's, many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. And in going through this grief and working my way to victory, I really have the intention of honoring Wayne and his legacy of missions. But if you watch my part 2, the doubts and the I don't know, the hesitation, it kind of was there. Can I do this without Wayne Eisenmann? And I read that scripture this morning, and once again, the scripture is, many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. And I realized that, yes, I'm here to honor Wayne, and I am here to continue what God has called us to do, but it wasn't Wayne's plan. It was God's purpose to share the gospel, God's purpose to be who he wants me to be, and that's with or without Wayne. And so I had a really good day. I have a really good day. I have had a happy moment. Excuse my mouth when I get anxious and nervous and or under stress. My little Tourette's thing starts, so please just excuse that. But I need to cut this short because y'all don't need to hear me babble. So I went on the excursion, really excited, had a lot of fun, hooked up with some other ladies that just were a blast, and they kind of adopted me for the day through the excursion. And after the excursion, I was able to minister to a young man named Christian, and I have a video of Christian, and I'll include that. But he was really confused about who Jesus is and what Jesus expects of him, and he was raised. His grandmother was Jehovah's Witness, and then his grandmother didn't become Jehovah's Witness till later in her life. Before that, she really wasn't anything. And then she kind of apostolized or grabbed her daughter, who was searching and seeking, and she was Catholic at the time, and then she became Jehovah's Witness. And then his father was studying Judaism, and his mother started studying Judaism, and then they all just kind of decided that they weren't going to study anything, and that he didn't. And I said, but your name's Christian, and he said, yes, yeah. my mom liked an American actor named Christian. And I said, do you know what Christian means? And he said, no. And I said, it means Christ-like, little Christ. And he went, oh? And I said, little Jesus. That's what Christian means. You're a little Jesus. You're Jesus-like. And I said, every time somebody declares your name Christian, they're declaring you are Christ-like. But I told him the true gospel, the basic gospel, went through everything with him, and he listened so intently, and nobody had presented the gospel to him in that manner. And I really got to pray with him and believe that people are going to help him find his truth, and that other Christians, that I planted a seed today, and other Christians are going to come by and water that. And there's going to be believers that will rise up, and I just prayed over him that, and I prayed that again when I got back to my hotel room. So just pray for Christian, that in Costa Maya, Mexico, that God send believers to draw him to the truth. And so I went from there, got back on the bus that took us down and dropped us off in the marketplace. And I just kind of went through the marketplace. I would ask people if they were hurting or if they were in pain, and nobody was. Nobody was. So I just shared Jesus, and I got to a couple of words of knowledge. And for one young man in particular, his name was Alberto, and he was one of the street vendors. And actually, he blessed me with this shirt that says Costa Maya on it. He asked me which one I like, and then he said, "Oh, I gotta get back to work." But I had prayed over him, and we just enjoyed talking. He calls God his daddy. He never had a father, and he's just praying for his family, the rest of his family, to come to Jesus. Jehovah's Witness seems to be a very strong presence in this area, and that's what his family is. So he has started he is going to a Catholic church, but it's he's not satisfied with that. He wants to learn more, and so I just encouraged him to buy his own Bible and just start reading it, and I pray for him. So he was pretty nice, and he came back with a little yellow bag, and he blessed me, and so I threw this on. So he was precious, and then I just ministered to people blessings. I just would pray a blessing over them, and I didn't get to pray for anybody for healing. Nobody seemed to need healing. Everybody was fine. No, every time I'd say, "Are you in pain?" or "Do you have anything that's bothering you?" everybody said no. So but maybe tomorrow. And I'm not getting excited that somebody might be sick. I'm just getting excited that I know I can do this, and I may not be able to do it the Wayne Eisenmann style, but I'll do it the Patty Eisenmann style, and I'll know that. Am I doing this on our way? Yes, I am. But it's God's plan that prevails. So it was God's plan that Wayne shared the gospel so uniquely and with such strength and power. But it's God's plan that will prevail in my life, that I'll be able to do that too. So I got to jump off here, get ready for a white party. Kind of excited about that. They've had really good music. Several jazz bands, and tonight it is they even have a white piano, so we're having a white party, and they've got a violinist, and it's more an orchestra. I think it's an orchestra that they have down there tonight, so kind of excited. And yes, Wayne's birthday is looming, November 5th, but I no longer see it as looming. I'm going to meet it, and I'm going to greet it. and see what happens. But I'm going to go back out tomorrow, and I will give y'all an update. Sorry this took so long, and saying good night. So this is my friend Christian that I just met.
Hola.
Where are we at?
We are at Costa Maya.
Costa Maya. And he just did a great show. They showed us a great show.
Thanks so much, Mami.
But Christian is not a Christian. And he was raised in many faiths.
Yeah.
So he is seeking truth. So Christian just allowed me to pray that he find the truth, that he finds Jesus. And he has one of the most joyful hearts that you could ever
Thank you.
Ever meet. So all my friends out there, this is Christian, and you're gonna start praying that Christian has others come bring him the truth, so that he can become Christ-like for real, and then Jesus-like. Say anything you want to say, Christian?
Thanks so much, amigos. Thanks for your best will, and gracias.